I want to talk about Tesla insurance. Tesla insurance. I don't know what's going on with them. Okay. So I did this post. Let's just dive right into it. I did this post on YouTube, and the backstory is there's been all this talk from Barry Glack and Lost Gerber, Troy Dislike, and Tesla QCat. These are references to Gary Black and to Ross Gerber and to Troy Teslike and to James Cat. Some accounts that used to be more positive about Tesla have become, in my opinion, more negative about Tesla over time. So I jokingly refer to Gary Black as Barry Glack. I jokingly refer to Ross Gerber as Lost Gerber, Troy Dislike as from Troy Teslike, and Tesla QCat as James Cat. These are accounts on the X platform, the platform formerly known as Twitter. And when they complain or they criticize Tesla, they bring up things like, oh, Tesla needs to advertise, or Tesla needs an informational campaign, or Tesla needs to make the next generation vehicle quicker, or Tesla needs to accelerate, developing the Cybertruck. And they've got all these solutions. But one thing that I never seen any of them talk about is Tesla insurance. And this is my opinion, that Tesla's biggest recent failure is Tesla insurance. Some people brought up Solar Roof, and I'm like, well, Solar Roof isn't a recent failure. Solar Roof is a failure that's been going all along. I don't know if it's a complete failure, but name calling does not become you. This is just being funny. This isn't name calling. Look, Ross Gerber's lost. Garrett, whatever. So I want to go back to the Q1 2022 earnings call. I'm going to do more of that from that earnings call a little later in this video. But just right here, Zach Kirkhorn, April of 2022, said, we're working as quickly as we can to get to 80% of customers having access to a Tesla insurance product by the end of this year in the United States, at which point we'll pivot our attention to expansion outside of the United States. So this is not Elon. This is Zach, who is the more level-headed, more conservative, more responsible person that Barry Glack and Lost Gerber and so on are upset left, saying we're going to reach 80% of the country by the end of this year in the United States. And then this is in 2022, recent filings to state regulators show that Tesla plans to start selling auto insurance in Florida October 20th, 2022. Newsflash, Tesla does not sell insurance in Florida yet. We're in 2024, so they're way more than a year late on delivering auto insurance to Florida. And 80% of the United States, you'd pretty much have to include Florida. It's S&P Global, May of 2023. The next two states the insurer may launch its insurance product in are Florida and Washington, as each state regulator has approved its offering. The Florida filing was approved in March with an effective date for new business on April 15th. Sunshine State is not listed as a state where coverage is available. Its Washington filing shows a new business date of July 15th. So now July 15th comes and goes. The Tesla earnings call is around July 21st, something like that. August of 2023, Zach Kirkhorn steps down as CFO. And just to follow up on that point, this is current. The states that Tesla offers insurance, no Florida, no Washington. This is not 80% of Tesla customers having access to Tesla insurance. It's not. So this is a fail. And this matters. This matters far more than advertising, anything else. This matters a lot. So let's just a little deeper into the earnings calls. So this is Q1 2022. Why does this matter? Right? So I'm going to go through in more depth here. Let me just look here. Why can't they sell in Texas? Is where their headquarters are. They do sell insurance in Texas. They do sell cars in Texas. We're not talking about cars. We're not talking about, dealership laws or anything like that. We're talking about insurance, and Tesla does sell insurance in Texas. So I drive too damn hard to have reasonable rates on Tesla. Look, Tesla insurance may not be right for you, but we're going to go through why Tesla insurance matters. Okay, it doesn't just matter for you, whether you have insurance on your car with Tesla. It matters for the company. It matters for society. It matters for a lot of things. Okay, so a whole bunch of things here. We just launched Tesla real-time insurance in Virginia, Colorado, and Oregon earlier this week. Remember, this is back in Q1 2022, April 2022. But here it is, and we're working as quickly as we can to get to 80% of customers having access to a Tesla insurance product by the end of this year in the United States, at which point we'll pivot our expansion outside the United States. So that they set the goal and they haven't delivered on it. Now, I'm going to see if I can get us... The other thing I'll say on insurance with these students, okay, so with these 3 new states, the model is different because we're now the underwriter. We're also holding the risk. Fully vertically integrated provider of insurance. Elon says, and once I noticed, we're seeing that having real-time feedback for driving habits is actually resulting in Tesla owners driving the cars in a safer way. Because they can, so that one of the benefits is that as Tesla owners see their safety score and they see that it's impacting their insurance, they see they can reduce their car insurance by driving in a manner that turns out to be safer. Some of the people drive in a safer manner, which is good. So, and Zach Kirkhorn says it's safer on average, what we see in the data. We have extremely high retention for customers who experience this product. So while there are reports from customers, hey, I don't like it because they're jacking me at night, or I don't like it because it doesn't like my driving, whatever it is, on average, they have high retention. People were staying with Tesla insurance. People are staying with Tesla insurance. This is as of April 2022. We don't have an update on that particular point. So Elon says it's also a feedback loop for Tesla because we see if there's a crash, both large or small, like we sort of see exactly what that caused. And then we think about how we can change the design of the car or the software in order to minimize the probability of that accident. And most accidents are minor, but what about those accidents that occur less frequently? How do we make the repair associated with that accident super fast? Like aspirationally would be like a same-day repair of a collision, which is a night and day difference. So the value of having Tesla insurance, one of the advantages is it creates a better feedback loop between car manufacturer and car insurer. So the car manufacturer knows, hey, we can make the cars differently so that we can do repairs faster. We can have our service center figure out how to do repairs faster. And then Kirkhorn says we do claims management in-house. We work to prepare the estimate, but we can identify areas of cost inefficiency, feed those back to our engineering teams or elsewhere. Software teams actually improve the product. This lowers the cost of insurance, improves reliability of the product, so it's a full circle. So there's advantages to the company beyond just are they making money selling insurance. One of the advantages is it improves the product, the car itself. They're able to learn from the crash. Like other car companies don't have car insurance and don't see how are our cars handling in crashes and how can we make them easier to fix and how can we reduce repair costs. That's not something other car companies can do, but if Tesla has it, then they can do it. So we go to, now we're going to a later earnings call. Previous call was April of 2023. This is January of 2020. That previous call was April of 2022. Now we're going to January of 2023. Martin Vieca, next question for Zach. When do you think Tesla Insurance will become big enough revenue source to warrant providing more details on the financials of the business so investors can compare it to other insurance companies? And Zach says it's going to take a long time. We're currently running at a $300 million annual premium run rate as of the end of last year. So that's not big numbers for Tesla. $300 million annually with a company that's doing $100 billion in revenue. It's just, or $80 billion in revenue is not enough to worry about. So Zach says we're growing at 20% a quarter, so it's growing faster than the growth in our vehicle business. And in the states in which we're operating, on average, 17% of the customers in the states are using a Tesla insurance product, and that number continues to tick up. So a significant percentage of Tesla owners are signing up for Tesla insurance. It's not 100%, but it's in the ballpark of 20%. So if 20% of Tesla owners get Tesla insurance and they're happier, that's a plus. And there's an inherent stickiness in the insurance business, as in people, once they sign up for that insurance, they tend to stick with the insurance. Broader reminder on the motivation for starting this business. It was to improve, and still is to improve, the total cost of ownership of our cars, given that we're seeing high premiums of insurance from third-party companies. So in other words, if they can do Tesla insurance, they can drive down the cost of insurance. Even if other car insurance companies now have to compete with Tesla for insurance, they may lower the premiums for insurance for Tesla cars. And now Tesla owners pay less money for insurance. It's less expensive to own the car, right? That's a big plus. Elon says Just by Tesla operating insurance for other cars at a competitive rate, that makes the other car insurance companies offer better rates for Teslas. Lowers the cost. Has a bigger effect than you even think. Now they have to compete with, because now they have to compete with Tesla and cannot charge outrageous insurance for Teslas. And it's also giving us a good feedback loop, minimizing the cost of repairs for Teslas, all Teslas worldwide, because we obviously want to minimize the cost of repairing a Tesla if it's in a collision and for Tesla insurance. We've actually adjusted the design of the car, made changes in the software of the car to minimize the cost of repair. So the big key is the more insurance they have, the more they learn from having the insurance, and the lower they can lower the cost of ownership for people in places that don't have insurance yet. So since Florida doesn't have Tesla insurance, insurance companies in Florida can jack Tesla owners. And then if somebody's car is in an accident, most accidents are actually small. They're like a broken fender, scratch side of the car, or something like that. We're actually solving how to get somebody's car repaired very quickly and efficiently and back in their hands. These are things that you're not getting done if you don't have insurance covered. So, and then let me see if I can get this last bit on the screen. So this actually has a very significant effect on total cost of ownership and customer happiness. So I just wanted to go through those points just so you guys could see. I don't know. Sorry. Okay, so let's see. Let me just look in the chat. I'm gonna go do more in a second. If you go to a body shop after getting an accident, they hate Tesla insurance. If you Google hairy, Hanbury, and nude, no, we're not doing that. We actually love Tesla insurance. Telling the Geico salesman on a rate he wouldn't believe it. Many homeowners insurance plans discount the homeowners insurance if you carry car insurance with them, which makes switching to Tesla insurance a loss. Okay, so here's the key. It works for some people. It doesn't have to work for everybody. Tesla insurance doesn't have to work. It doesn't have to be that 100% of Tesla owners use Tesla insurance. If 20% of Tesla owners have Tesla insurance, and now the other insurance companies have to compete with Tesla's car insurance rates, then they may lower their premiums, and you may not even notice that they've lowered their premiums because they have to be competitive, right? Affordability of payment, so Tesla providing insurance will provide Tesla amazing intel in so many ways that other OEMs never thought to pursue. Is Dojo over? Well, we're not talking about Dojo, but Dojo is definitely not over. They talked about Dojo on the latest earnings call. Okay, so I want to go a little more into this. I posted this, and one of the comments was the lack of transparency from Tesla in regard to insurance is just annoying at this point. Are they expanding further? Are they pausing? Are they retiring? What's the plan? But no one asks in the earnings calls. You saw that there were questions in the 2022 earnings calls. But no one is asked. I watch every earnings call. I read every question. I listen to every question. No one asks about Tesla insurance anymore. And this is, if you ask me, this is probably the thing that Tesla should be executing on. It's a money maker. It reduces total cost of ownership, so it makes the cars more attractive. It helps in a variety of ways. So what's the holdup? And no one's asked, hey, what happened to Tesla insurance in Florida? What happened to Tesla insurance in Washington State? What happened to expanding 80% of Tesla customers in the United States? What happened to going overseas? Nobody's asking that for whatever reason, because everybody's obsessed with, well, what are you doing about advertising? Or what are you doing about this? Or what are you doing about that? How's 4680 going? And I love the 4680 questions, but at this point, we pretty much know they're working on the engineering of 4680, and it's going to get better over time. So just got Tesla insurance in Minnesota. It came in about $40 a month cheaper than my current policy with discount from bundling homeowners insurance. Okay. So, Jacob says, I think we gave up. Maybe we can ask again during the Q1 call. Listen, every time that question's been asked, they've answered it. So it's not like we're giving up. It's not like they're not being transparent. No one's asking. Tesla applied to sell insurance in Georgia back in 2022, and nothing has been mentioned since. Georgia's another big state. What's going on? Where's the insurance in these other states? I don't know the answer to that question. So this is one of the things that got me. Let me show you my post again. I called it Tesla's biggest recent failure. What was the reason it's a failure? Because it's this question, right? Failure because it's not available in more states. Yes. Did you read the whole post? Did and still wasn't sure. How was it a failure from William Wallace? Did you read the post? I don't see how it's a massive failure. I didn't say it was a massive failure. I said it's their most recent failure. It may not be a huge success, but it doesn't make it a failure. Wait a minute. Look, Zach Kirkhorn said, we're going to get this to 80% of customers having access to Tesla insurance product by the end of this year in the United States. That was the end of 2022. It's not 2 weeks late. Okay. It's more than a year late on having that access. And we have, what happened to Florida? They were ready to go on April 15th. They didn't go. They were ready in Washington, July 15th. What happened? Why didn't they expand Tesla insurance? Hasn't been answered. And I do think there's a question here. Is this why Zach Kirkhorn stepped down? This was Zach's baby. Zach was the one who's in charge of Tesla insurance. Is this why Zach steps down? I'm not saying it is why he stepped down. I'm saying like it's possible that this is why Zach left as CFO. Maybe he wasn't getting the job done. I don't know. So here's this guy, Blake Linton. I did read the whole post and I wasn't sure. I guess waiting for Cybertruck FSD, Berlin approval ramp, 4680 ramp, Starship's orbital flight has made long delays seem so normal that I didn't even understand what your point was. Didn't mean to imply a fault for myriad reasons. Disruptive innovation is very difficult. So look, I don't think Tesla insurance is very difficult. They're operating in multiple states. They got approval, as far as we know, in Florida and Virginia, or in Washington. So what happened? They probably got approval in Georgia. So what happened? Do you think they would offer homeowners insurance for those who use them for solar? I don't know. I think the fact that they're slow on everything is a problem. Two Thumbs asks, is there Tesla insurance for North Carolina? I don't think so. It's not on the list. So there's no Tesla insurance for North Carolina. There's no Tesla insurance for South Carolina. There's no Tesla insurance for New York, Massachusetts. Massachusetts is a big state for Tesla. Maine, New Hampshire, you go up and down the country. There's a lot. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 50 states. There's like 12 states on the list. They're way behind what they said. So here's another one, trying that interview where Buffett was in it, mentioning insurance is hard. I know they can tackle hard problems. Insurance isn't hard. They're operating in multiple states. It's not hard. I don't know why. We don't know why they haven't executed on this. It's not a money problem. Tesla has plenty of cash. I don't know the answer to this. What's the problem? Bear in the wing. I'm not a bear in the wings. I'm still a firm believer in Tesla. So Tudor Patrol, insurance is one of the easiest ways for Tesla to make money. It's not that much money. I'm not saying it's not money. I'm not saying they won't make some money on it. And they're not really doing it to make money. They're doing it to lower the cost of ownership for Tesla owners. They're doing it to force the other insurance companies to offer reasonable insurance rates. They're doing it to get feedback so they can improve the cars better. The only reason for it to go slower than expected is regulatory blockages set by the existing insurance lobby. But we saw that Florida had said yes. And I think Washington had said yes. And they didn't start. Might be one of the aces in the sleeve to be used when Elon gets his 25% and starts pumping up the stock. Yeah, I don't think that's going on. I've been saying Tesla's a problem, Tesla insurance is a problem for years now too, and talk of nationwide robotaxis is ridiculously overhyped. What insurer will cover a car driving itself, let alone it being affordable when Tesla can't even penetrate the market? So I want to address this point, because this is something people don't understand. If the car is driving itself, Tesla's on the hook anyway. If you own a Tesla vehicle and it's self-driving, and you put it in robotaxi mode and the car is driving itself, Tesla's on the hook. It's over. Tesla's on the hook. So there's no issue with being able to get insurance for a self-driving car. Tesla will be the insurance de facto. Not Tesla insurance. Tesla itself will be on the hook. Now, maybe Tesla insurance will effectively represent it. And I think Tesla insurance is a good platform to build to be ready to handle claims when robotaxis are in accidents, right? If you have that in place, then you're more ready for it. But robotaxis don't need insurance, because Tesla itself will be, if you're like, I was a plaintiff's lawyer, I can sue Joe Schmo, who's got a $25,000 insurance policy, or I can sue Tesla, $1 trillion company. Well, if I have a real injury, I don't want $25,000. I want $1 million or more. Well, the company with $1 trillion market cap is much more likely to compensate me than a guy with a $25,000 insurance policy who lives in an apartment somewhere. Burt Reynolds didn't believe in insurance. Tesla insurance is a threat to other insurance companies as they get real-time data. Maybe they are blocking. I don't think it's other. I think they were approved in Florida and Washington. Do I think there's a pause in insurance because of FSD complexity or something like that? No. It's not as prioritized as the margins are not as high as they hoped. I don't think this is about margins. And LJ says, my guess is Tesla is tweaking its approach based on what Tesla has learned. There must be some good reasons. Well, they're still selling insurance in the other states. It's not enough. The volume of the business isn't large enough that they're likely to lose money on it. I just don't get it. Elon just got his hot McLaren, had it for a week and wrecked it, so he had no insurance. I don't know. Okay, so Enzyme says, presuming tongue-in-cheek because starting the insurance business is really a stroke of genius. Building up reserves is a long tail for an insurance company, probably a decade, then it's all gravy from there. Tesla has the money to set up the reserves. Tesla has $30 billion in cash. Reserves are not a problem. That said, as a good driver, I got cheaper insurance elsewhere. Well, so this is the point again. What you don't see is your insurance company probably lowered their rates because of Tesla insurance competition. Good catch. What's the total addressable market on the insurance business? Well, if they're only insuring Tesla cars, which I believe in some cases they insure other cars. In other words, if you have 3 cars in your family, one of them's a Tesla, I believe Tesla insurance will also cover your other cars. But if you just limit it to Tesla cars, well, there's 5 million Teslas, 5.5 million Teslas worldwide. There's somewhere in the ballpark of 2 million Teslas in the United States. I don't think it's 3 million yet, so it's 2.5 million, something like that. So 2 million cars paying, I don't know, $2,000 a year. I don't know, that's $4 billion a year, right? That's not bad. Assuming Tesla ownership is concentrated in certain states, how many states need Tesla insurance to cover the state at 80%? With West Coast states and East Coast states, they could be closer to 80%. So the biggest states are California, Texas, and Florida. So Florida's out. So Florida's one of the biggest states. And then you've got Georgia's out, North Carolina, South Carolina are out. There's a lot of big states that are not included. And the concentration, Florida is Tesla's 3rd biggest state. Massachusetts is a big state for Tesla. So and that's not on the list. So there's a lot to cover. Let's see, the last one I've got here. This is Neil Bolton. Now, I want to be clear. I muted Neil Bolton. I almost blocked him, but I just muted him. Neil Bolton. And I'm going to say this very bluntly. If you have a Ukrainian flag in your profile or your name on X, and you're not actually Ukrainian, like you're Australian, like this guy, like, why do you have a Ukrainian flag in your thing? I don't know. You say it's a failure. You don't explain why you judge it so. It was obvious from my post why I think it's a failure, because Zach Kirkhorn, the CFO, not Elon making like crazy predictions that don't come true. Zach Kirkhorn, the reliable, confident, calm, conservative CFO, said we're going to have insurance in these states by the end of the year, and then they got approval in Florida and Virginia and Washington the next year, and they didn't start operating. It's an obvious failure. It doesn't need to be explained. And is it simply because it hasn't grown quickly enough or as quickly as Tesla's predicted? If so, classing this failure is unduly harsh in my opinion. He mentioned that Tesla would have it to 80% by end of year, failed to meet this by a very wide margin. No, Zach said that. Warren didn't say why he thought it was a failure. It's obvious why I thought it was a failure. And by that definition, Tesla is a complete failure, so they're always late. First of all, Model Y was not late. Model Y was not late. Model Y was not late. Tesla is not always late. They're often late. Tesla turns the impossible into late, but Tesla has been growing as a company very dramatically, very outstandingly. And I'm not saying it's like a massive failure. I'm not saying it's the biggest problem in the world. I'm just saying, hey, this is something they didn't execute on. They're going to need to have their own insurance when they roll out FSD. You can't expect traditional insurance to cover that. I think having their insurance will be great, but not essential. So I agree with Neil on that. I think I said that already. So those are the replies. I'm curious to see in the comments. Let's just see what the comments are. Insurance can be sold at cost of payout, really competitive. It takes years for the average payout. So what people don't realize is the insurance premiums are regulated by the state insurance agents, state insurance commission or something like that. And they might even require you to make a profit. It's tricky how that works. It's not so simple that you just price it. They could price it at a loss, right? Hey, look, buy a Tesla, get our insurance. The insurance is cheap, to save money, right? It sells more cars. But I don't believe they're allowed to do that. Mark Potocznik says a Tesla body shop will not replace a battery when it's not necessary. Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what that has to do with. I don't think the body shop is the one. Is the body shop the one that replaces the battery? Jim Whitehead, Warren Buffett has long said insurance profits come from investing the money for years before the payouts. I just want to be clear. I don't think Tesla was getting into the insurance business to make profits from the insurance. Not that they don't want to make profits from the insurance. It's just that's not the purpose. The purpose is to lower the total cost of ownership so more people will buy Teslas. And the purpose is to get that feedback loop going so you're better able to design the cars to minimize accidents, minimize the damage from accidents, and minimize the time to repair from accidents. Yes, Mark Potocznik, there is the Turn Impossible Delayed t-shirt. I have it in my back in here. The Turn Impossible Delayed t-shirt at elonbits.com. The What's Outside the Simulation t-shirt, I believe, is still on elonbits.com. I'm not sure whether I still sell this shirt. Maybe all these recalls are bankrupting the insurance division. Humor? What? What if Tesla isn't making money on Tesla insurance because of the safety score? Oh, I think you're joking, in other words. What if Tesla isn't making money on Tesla insurance because of the safety score issues? Lots of unhappy customers and the safety score states. Kirkhorn said, I don't know if I have that here. I think I may have closed that. Kirkhorn said that retention was high and the customers were very satisfied with the product. The fact that you hear a story and somebody says, I don't like it because doesn't equate to what overall experience is. That Warren Buffett freaked out when he read Tesla was getting into insurance. It's a large part of his portfolio. It's not a big impact on Geico, which is the big insurance company that Warren Buffett's company owns, because Tesla's not that large a share of the market yet. Once it's a huge share of the market, it would matter more. But and I honestly, once the cars are self-driving, car insurance, my opinion is, down the road, 5-10 years down the road, the cars are all self-driving, insurance goes away. The car's driving, then there's no point for insurance. Tesla's the de facto insurer anyway. Jordan Levitt says many property and casualty insurers have had combined ratios over 100, meaning they lost money on underwriting, hoping to make it up on returns on the float. Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying, again, Tesla doesn't need to make a profit. It just needs to not lose too much money on it. One body shop replaced a $60,000 battery when it wasn't necessary. There's always going to be a story of something that happened somewhere. That doesn't mean it's a huge problem overall. Yes, Model Y was early, correct. Did Buffett and the White House make calls to stop Tesla insurance approvals? Well, not in Florida, right? I mean, Florida's a red state. Maybe Washington, but I doubt it. Yeah, please follow me on the X platform. Thanks, Mark Potocznik. On the X platform, WR4NYGov. It's in the chat if you want to find it. I'm very active on the X platform. I post a lot more there. I'm on the X platform daily, hourly probably. I'm in the gym, I'm doing my workout, I take a break between sets, and I like check X and maybe post something. So very active on the X platform, much more than I am here on YouTube. I'm still, doing 1 or 2 videos a week on YouTube, I think is my ballpark rate. We'll see how we're going. And please check out, please consider becoming a YouTube channel member, support me on the other platforms. I just posted a video, not related to Tesla, with Alex from E4Electric talking about dating, just an example of other content that I do, that I may put that on YouTube. I'm not sure whether I'm going to put this on YouTube or not. Tesla insurance was useful to dismiss the claims that gigacastings increased the cost of repair. Yeah, that's true. That was dumb from the beginning, and Sandy Monroe dismissed that right away. And any car, if there's frame, the gigacasting is essentially replacing the frame of the car. On any car, if there's frame damage, it's usually totaled. So if there's damage to a gigacasting, the car's totaled anyway. Thank you, LJ. LJ noted, so if you go to E4Electric's channel, I think it's also on the X platform, I had a conversation with Alex from E4Electric about Cybertruck. Let me just talk about that for a second. I'm a comedian on X. There's a long way to go with his memes. I got some work to do, that's true. I'm not just a comedian on X. I talk about serious topics as well. So when Tesla insurance is available in Delaware, we'll know we've won. Yeah, when Joe Biden says you can have insurance in Delaware, that's a good one. Wait, are they in Delaware? Delaware's not on the list. No, California, I mean, no. So, but California is not, the asterisk is California does not have the real-time insurance where there's no safety score affecting your insurance premiums. Saying that FSD will eliminate the need for insurance is short-sighted. Insurance also covers accidents that happen when the car is moving, such as theft. When the car is not moving, such as theft and being crashed into. Well, being crashed into, then the other car's insurance covers, right? I mean, I suppose you could worry about uninsured motorists, right? There is that. Please put your dating thing on YouTube, as we're not all on X. It's as if you're a YouTube channel member, you can see the video on dating. It's not just on X, and it's also as on the Daily Lie, and it's also on. I haven't decided yet. I'm looking to see comments from my supporters to see whether I should go ahead and do it. Is Tesla insurance currently more economical than other insurance companies? I think the answer to that question is Tesla insurance is competitive. As if you are a safe driver, if you are paying attention to your safety score and following what you learn from your safety score, then your insurance rates are going to be very low. Hi, be nice. If you are not careful with your driving, then your insurance rates are going to be higher. If you're driving in the middle of the night, then your insurance rates can be higher. So that it's more cost effective for some people. But the critical issue is, what it's hard to see is other car insurance companies have to lower their rates for Tesla, because if they don't lower the rates for Tesla, they're going to lose the business. So Tesla may just be causing other car insurance companies to lower their rates, and so you're able to get lower rates with other companies. Alex was long dumped by most Tesla people like me. This is us, Alex from E4Electric. So let's talk about Cybertruck. Very clear that Tesla missed on one key detail, and I'm going to say Tesla promised to deliver 500 miles of range on the Cyberbeast, on the tri-motor. And they very clearly fell short of the 500 miles of range. So, and the pricing of the Tesla Cybertruck is higher than what was advertised or promoted or promised at the Cybertruck reveal 4 years ago. Now, there's been a lot of inflation since then. There's a lot of reasons why it's more expensive. Who's the girl in the thumbnail? It's just an AI-generated thumbnail. It's just some girl and some Tesla. So, it is true that Tesla missed on a couple of details and what they said they were going to do in their prototype and what they ended up delivering. But they delivered a lot more than they said. And in particular, on the all-wheel drive version, the dual motor all-wheel drive version of the Cybertruck, they did more. I don't know what just happened there. They did more. They did 340 miles of range when they said 300. So they beat the range that they had projected on the all-wheel drive Cybertruck. Then they do have this range extender, which is like a $16,000 add-on. I don't know how many people are going to add that on. That gives you like 470 miles range, which is close enough to 500 to not be a big deal. So I think that they delivered a lot. They also delivered 48 volt. They also delivered steer by wire, which is like amazing. There's certain features. They delivered four-wheel steering, which was not one of the features they talked about. The turning radius is the same as a Model S. It's much better turning radius than a typical pickup truck. If you haven't seen it, watch the Haggerty video, Hagerty, where Jason Camissa does like a 30-minute or so video with the Cybertruck. And he drives it on a go-kart track. And the go-kart track, if you listen to Jason talking later, the go-kart track manager, owner, whatever, was like, oh, that thing will never succeed on that, never manage on that track. And it did. He was stunned. So, is the Cybertruck a hit or miss? As far as I can tell, with the volume of orders they have, with the number of people who are taking delivery of $20,000 increased price, what do they call it? Foundation series Cybertrucks. They're doing, like, look, I have one of the earliest orders for Cybertruck all-wheel drive. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get it until early 2025 because there's so many Foundation Series orders. So I don't think they're having any trouble with demand for Cybertruck. I think Cybertruck is awesome. Stainless steel body and the forming issues really reminds me of issues they had with the Model X doors. No, I don't think the forming of the stainless steel is that much of a challenge. And it's especially important that the Falcon Wing doors on Model X had a high... way Model X is made, they had a lot of warranty claims on Model X. So I think Cybertruck is going to be much better on that. Jim Whitehead says, Tesla Kim has a few contacts inside Tesla, and one told her the Cybertruck range will improve soon with an update. I think, Jim, you emailed me this, or maybe it was DM'd. that the Cybertruck range will soon improve soon with an update. It'll be optimized for highways. So yeah, what we see with Tesla is over time they learn from real world experience, and there'll be an over-the-air update, and you'll get like an extra 10 miles of range. They might be an acceleration improvement. We've seen those things happen. There might be better braking. Range extender has promises if it's removable and rentable. The range extender is not going to be removable. It's not going to be rentable. It's going to be ridiculously heavy. It's I don't know if it's dealer installed or factory installed. Aren't we getting tired of Elon making outlandish predictions on mileage and cost? It seems unnecessary. So I don't think I'm getting tired of it because he stopped doing it. Look, the next generation vehicle, they haven't made any predictions on mileage or range or cost. We don't know what the next generation vehicle is going to be. They're not talking about that. They have learned from that and they've stopped doing it. But let's be clear again, the all-wheel drive version of Cybertruck, the dual motor all-wheel drive, over delivered on range. 340 miles of range instead of the 300 they originally talked about. Apparently the motors of Cybertruck are not optimized now. They barely get the tri-motor out in time and the software lagged far behind. Very possible that they will, I think it's likely that they will make improvements along the way. Cybertruck is already being improved over the air. Core glass. Love to hear more about the van from Tesla. Huge market for this in Europe. The market for Tesla van is huge. That is something I talked about in a recent video. Drew Baglino in the earnings call was asked about 4680. Is there enough 4680s for Cybertruck? He said they're overproducing 4680s more than they need for Cybertruck. The 4680 ramp is running ahead of the Cybertruck ramp, and they're saving up those cells for Tesla's future vehicle programs. Programs, plural. Most of us are confident that a van is coming. We don't know what the van's going to be. It should be a big deal, but we don't know yet. Do I think a Model X with steer-by-wire will come? So my theory is that once the next generation vehicle is in manufacturing, so you've got the unbox process, you've got a whole bunch of manufacturing. What they said about manufacturing the next generation vehicle, unfortunately, it sounds like they're delaying the next generation vehicle to production second half of 2025. But the steps that they're taking to manufacture the next generation vehicle, they're redesigning the machines to build the machines. I think they're working on the machine that builds the machines, So there's a whole lot going on there. So once they have that down, once they have this new manufacturing process pretty much down, then I expect that they will redo Model 3, Model Y, Model S, and Model X, or at least, I'm not sure they will redo Model S or they will let Model S go because it's not a high volume vehicle. That the market for luxury sedans just isn't that large, but a new Model X that's built on the new system with steer-by-wire, 48 volt, 800 volt, probably 4680 structural pack, giga castings, unbox process, whatever. I think we're going to see that. And I think we're going to see ultimately, my vision is the next gen vehicle is around $20,000, $25,000. I'm hoping for 20. The Model 3 ends up being 30. The Model Y ends up being 35. Then the new Model X ends up being closer to $50,000, maybe $60,000, and you get like basically a much larger version of Model Y. And I think if they get there, then that's a game changer for everybody. Steer-by-wire does make right-hand drive so much easier. Agree with that. Elon is not even giving guidance because he's damned when he does and damned when he does not. Yeah, there's no point in giving guidance. The point is that with the volume that they sell is going to be driven more by macroeconomics than anything the team can execute. When will Tesla van come out? I would guess that the Tesla van will be 2025, but that's a guess. Wave of the future should be wrapping a vehicle and not painting it. I think they still have to paint a vehicle that gets wrapped. The difference is that Cybertruck doesn't need to be painted because it's stainless steel. Brian Keck, is it just me or is the Model Y currently way cheaper than a Model 3? I believe that the Model Y in the United States gets the tax credit and the 3 does not. So the Model Y is less expensive if you qualify for the tax credit. The E-Transit is a great van by all accounts from feedback in the UA. I don't know what the E-Transit is. Is that a Ford? I love my X on the highway. It's incredible. Once you experience it, you can't go back. Yeah, I have a Model X Plaid technically. I drove 44,000 miles in a Model X Plaid. Yeah, it's spectacular, wonderful vehicle to drive. But I can drive the Model 3 after driving the X, and it's fine. Model 3 and Y now exact same price in Ireland. Interesting. Troy prediction guy said that the next gen platform is not coming until 2026 because Austin will not do volume production. And Elon said mid 2025. He has been real quiet. So I believe that what Tesla said was that the next gen vehicle would start production in the second half of 2025. That would suggest that deliveries would not come until 2026, at least not in any significant volume. I don't know why Troy thinks that Austin will not do volume production. That seems nonsense to me. Austin will do volume production. I don't know why Troy thinks that. Troy is really good at making predictions of what volumes will be. Like if you're December 30th, Troy's prediction of what Tesla will announce for their sales volume for effective December 31st, a few days later, he's really good at that. That doesn't mean he's good at predicting other things. That doesn't mean he understands the company as a whole. And doesn't mean he doesn't understand the company as a whole. So even if it had range, I do not trust their software in Q&A. Oh, I think we're talking about Ford. Elon favorability is greater than unfavorability. So I think that, look, one of the things that bothers me is people complain about Elon saying, oh, Elon, his tweets are bad, or they don't like his posts and he's creating drama or whatever, and that's creating problems for Tesla. And they never complain about the media. The Barry Gerber, the Barry Glacks, and the Barry Gerber, the Barry Glacks and the Lost Gerbers and the James Katz and the these guys. Like, why aren't they bashing the media for their constant trashing of Tesla? Why aren't they bashing them for lying about Elon? Like, you should be fighting for Elon and fighting for Tesla instead of fighting Elon and fighting Tesla. It's obvious that the media constantly lies about Tesla and says all kinds of false things about Elon. And, your response is to blame Elon instead of blaming the people who are lying about him. Wasn't the Model 2 being designed in China a year or two ago? Apparently what China design team was doing was building the next generation, the updated refresh Model 3. LJ, Warren, don't you agree for so many reasons Thailand is probably the best for a new gigafactory? I don't know about the best. I think Thailand would be excellent for a new factory. Number one for a Wolverine Cybertruck. Most people don't know that Thailand is the number 2 market in the world for pickup trucks. I see pickup trucks all over the place. They're quarter-ton pickups like the Ford Ranger, not half-ton like the F-150, so they're a little bit smaller. So I think if Tesla made a smaller version of Cybertruck and manufactured it in Thailand, it would do extremely well here. The stainless steel would be like a massive hit here in Thailand. And then next-gen vehicle would be great in Thailand as well. So, and I just saw a Model Y today. I was out for a walk. I think it was lunchtime. Saw a Model Y on my walk back. Saw a BYD also. How many Cybertruck Foundation series will be produced? We don't know that. Elon stated clearly on the last earnings call. Stated what? I don't know what you're talking about, Steel Curtain. Tesla El Camino would be cool. I do think there's an argument that Tesla would sell more cars if they had more variation. If there was a convertible, I'm exaggerating in this one, but a convertible Model 3, right? If there was a minivan, a more minivanish version of the Model Y, are there variations they could make that would lead to Tesla, significant but not dramatic changes in the vehicle, so you have a variety of versions. Scott from South Carolina says Elon is a marked man. Yeah. Jim Whitehead, do you believe Ross Gerber's claim that Elon's tweets are hurting Tesla sales? I see no evidence of it. Ross said friends are canceling reservations. Okay, look, I have seen people saying, hey, my friend said he's not buying a Tesla because of Elon. Like, well, did he have a Tesla before? No. Did he have a Tesla before because not before? He didn't. Did he not have a Tesla before because of Elon's posts? No. Well, why didn't he have a Tesla before? Tesla's been selling cars. Model S went on sale in 2012. Model 3 went on sale in 2017. Where have you been? Like, why weren't they buying the cars before? There's people who don't want to buy a Tesla anyway, and they just make up the excuse that, well, they want to take a shot at Elon. Did you just hear that Rivian had to freeze all Canadian Rivians due to software nightmares? No. I think Rivian is in danger of going bankrupt, but I think it's too early to call that. Sam Alexander calls out media lies all the time. I don't know who Sam Alexander is. I wasn't talking about Sam Alexander. I was talking about Lost Gerber, Barry Glack, etc. Scott from South Carolina saw India and South Korea mentioned for new factories. England was rolling out the carpet for it. Everybody wants a new factory, but the question is that a good place for a new factory? Gross Berber. Thank you, Mark Grossberber. Tesla V2G. Oh my God. Okay, there is no V2G. There isn't going to be V2G. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There isn't going to be V2G. It's not going to matter. Where prices can be negative at nighttime. Well, why would V2G matter when the prices are negative? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, the price. You're saying the price of electricity would be negative at nighttime. Well, then that doesn't. You don't need V2G to take advantage of negative electricity prices at night. Lost Gerber. Lost Gerber or Lost Gerber? It's Lost Gerber because he loses money, or it's Lost Gerber because he's lost. Tesla Explorer would sell like hotcakes. Yeah, could they do something like that? I guess so. Will Tesla insurance dovetail with Neuralink? I don't see a connection between those two. Tesla can't sell more cars now, need production. I think Tesla could produce more cars if they thought there was demand. I think there is a demand issue. I don't know how to explain it. I think, why isn't middle America buying more Teslas? At least Elon is ahead of Zuckerberg in favor. I'm sure he's ahead of Zuckerberg in favorability. FSD 12.2 is going to be insane. Robotaxi next year is looking very likely given the 12.1 builds on Hallmark's channel. It's really too hard to say. I wouldn't look at what you see from version 12.1.2 on Omar's car. It's not how the car is driving now. It's how much does it improve? How often does it improve? How big are the steps in improvement and how much does it improve? And how often do they update? That's going to be the big game changer. Amazon owns a lot of Rivian stock, so I doubt they'll let their investment go under without a fight. I don't know, but I don't know if it's that big of share of Amazon's owner. I don't know if it's that much compared to what Amazon's worth. Amazon's not going to throw good money after bad either. Virtue signalers are anti-Elon as they're losing on Tesla buys and great cars. Robert Hirsch, I want an Optimus bot that can do Thai massage on me. So you can get a massage pretty cheap in Thailand. Just come to Thailand. Amazon has pulled back on their van orders. Nobody focuses on that. Yeah, that was an issue. That was an issue. A loss with Russ. When people crap on Tesla in China, the PR steps in and later somehow they apologize and issue a correction. Do you think it would work in America if Tesla had a PR or legal team? No. I mean, they have a legal team. I don't think Tesla having a PR team would work. They had a PR team before and it didn't work. They had a PR team before and it didn't work. Elon replied to me a long time ago. Said, basically I did a little meme. If Tesla has a PR team, then the PR team issues a statement, and then the media does another hit job on Tesla, relying on misinterpreting the PR statement. If Tesla PR doesn't have a PR team and they don't say anything, then the story dies. There's this fantasy that having a PR team is all the media will go, oh, I'm sorry. And, in China has different rules. If the media lies about somebody, there's actually a consequence. In America, if the media lies about somebody, the U.S. government doesn't care. It's the U.S. government doing the lying half the time. Interest rates crushed car sales, true. Level 3, I don't know if first of all, level 3 doesn't matter. Level 4 matters. Do I think Starlink will come natively in Teslas in the next year or two? No. Elon has been very clear he doesn't think the cars need Starlink, that 5G is good enough. Don't know why Amazon pulled back from Rivian purchases. Talk to the Rivian van driver. He says drivers love it. Yeah, would Optimus do happy endings on the massages? It's a good question. Two things can be true at the same time. The news can be jerks and Elon can be a jerk too. Elon is not a jerk. He says rude things, I suppose, sometimes. He cracks jokes you might not like. If you don't like his sense of humor, you don't agree with him in politics, you're not going to like what he says. That doesn't make him a jerk. It just means you don't agree with him. Cambodia has cheaper massages. All right, I'll take a stop to Cambodia. Thank you. The Amazon delivery driver said the back of the normal gas van has no AC and it's brutally hot in the summer. Where is that Tesla litigation team suing lies? That's a good question. That's one of the things that they didn't deliver on. Dave Ladaluca, just got my new Model 3. Any idea when FSD later will be available in Europe and which countries will be first? Supposedly happening soon, but we don't know. But so the thing, Larry Lobster, is that version 12.1.2 of FSD beta is not a step change from version 11. It's a different software package completely. So it's not how much it improved from version 11. It's how much it improves within itself. It's a different software package. It's a different approach. The cost for the van have skyrocketed, nothing to do with the drivers. Rivian sells for $16.11 per share, but loses $6.02 per share. Not sustainable. That does seem like a problem, doesn't it? I think Tesla will delete beta soon. I don't know when they're going to delete beta. How cheap will Teslas get by 2030 if bots scale up? So I don't think bots are going to be significant in Tesla manufacturing. This is one of those places where I disagree with a lot of the other influencers, a lot of content creators. A lot of people think that the primary use of Tesla bot is going to be in factories. I want to be clear about this. This is an important detail. Okay, so the point of Optimus, and if you go back on my channel and see my conversation with James Dauma, the key issue with Optimus is that it's a general purpose robot. And I'm going to take some liberties from my conversation with James Dauma and say the value that Optimus delivers is a better understanding, a better creation of real world AI. It's not that you train Optimus to do a task and then it does the task efficiently. It's that you train Optimus to understand the real world, and then you can give it a task it's never done before, it's not been trained for, and it can figure out how to do it. That's a much bigger game changer. If you design a robot that can figure out how to do a task on its own, that's way better than training a robot to do this task, and then this task, and then this task, and then this task. That's the game. The game is, can you get your AI to understand the real world? And that's why I don't think factories are it. Philippines is a good option. I was leaning towards the Philippines. I just happened to meet my new girlfriend here, and I'm not going anywhere while I have a spectacular girlfriend. So he just asked 150 million people to send nudes. Who? What? When I stand, Amazon Rivian van seat supplier doubled the charge for seats. Interesting. Tesla doesn't have that problem. They make their own seats. Thoughts of Tesla doing virtual reality headsets on a large scale for people to train bots? I don't think that's likely or necessary. Again, it's not about humans training the bots to do tasks. It's about the bots going out and experiencing the world and learning from what they learn, what they see. That's my opinion, and I may be wrong. If it's a different software package, then it's so much better off the rip. Why don't you understand that? Omar always says it's spectacular. Again, you can't rely on it's working great in this version. It's about how it improves over time. And I'm sorry, Larry, we're just gonna have to disagree on this one. Ken, I'm vertically integrating my love life. I'm gonna steal that, Ken. I'm stealing that. Vertically integrating my life. I gotta write this down. That's good. Vertically integrating love life. I'm stealing that, Ken. That's like the best comment of the day. Elon dropping his phone number for X calls exclusively. Is this a viable solution for everyone? Yes. Yeah. I mean, if everyone you deal with is on the X platform, then I think there's also the potential that you'd be able to get X will be able to communicate two phone numbers. You'll be able to make a call from your X to a phone number. That would be part of it. Waiting for Optimus to drive on stage in a Mach-E, FSD for OEMs. I don't believe that Optimus will be the equivalent of FSD. Doesn't have enough cameras, doesn't have the same camera angles, doesn't have the same reaction time, because the car has the cameras and this hardware in the car and instant reaction. Optimus has to turn a wheel, so that the lag is going to be bigger. I think they need to make Teslas less minimalist. They need cooled seats at least. I believe the new Model 3 does have ventilated seats. Did I consider Iceland? No, Iceland was not on my list. I don't like cold. 2FA SMS won't work when X only. Don't be so sure of that. I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot. Actually, my girlfriend and I were just talking about going to Cambodia, Laos, and Myanmar at some point. Elon, Tesla has agreements with their suppliers. Follow our rules or you are not our suppliers. Yeah. Elon posted a joke meme recently about cats and their patches spell out send nudes. I found it funny. Okay, I haven't seen. I read every Elon post, but I guess I'm behind. Bots will do anything an assembly line worker will do. Boring, repetitive, dangerous jobs will be done by bots. Yeah, I get that, but that's not all that bots are going to do. Bots are going to be able to do all kinds of things. LJ, I've already stolen Ken's comment. I suspect that FSD is overtrained on the Bay Area. I see more interventions. Well, things are improving. Well, Elon has said that before, that FSD is overtrained on the Bay Area. Overfitted, I think he said. I dare you to dare Alex to get a couple's massage with you and live stream a Tesla debate. I don't think that's happening. Less minimalist. Optimus could deliver pizzas. Downwood talked about Optimus having like a scooter or a skateboard or something and being able to deliver packages. Why would you want to have a 3,500 pound or 1,500 kilogram car doing deliveries when you could have a 125 pound bot on a skateboard or a small scooter doing deliveries? You might end up being much more efficient in your deliveries because you're not moving as much mass from point A to point B. Ken says, Warren, we live vicariously through you. Thank you. Yes, Cambodia will be corporate headquarters for tax and visa reasons. I don't know what the advantages are of Cambodia for corporate headquarters or whatever. I don't really have that much income to worry about my taxes. So. My income is probably going to be US based for a long time. Bots can help elderly remain independent, save nursing costs. Absolutely. And bots can also work in assisted living facilities and nursing homes. I think that's one of the biggest tasks that no one talks about is when an elderly person poops on themselves or pees on themselves, having a bot do the cleanup. Because there's infection risk from cleaning that up, having a bot do the cleanup would save humans from that task and allow humans to do the comforting part of the job. Do I think Elon cares about Tesla's stock price? Not a lot, no. Don't get blocked in Bangkok. I don't see myself having that problem. Do you find Alex to be personable and friendly in real life? He comes across as really whiny in videos. Honestly, I just had dinner with him. I think he's great. When did I see him? I've seen him twice in person recently. Really enjoy it. Where did we go? Did we go to lunch? I think we met for lunch and then we went out and met at a group. There was a group event for dinner. I've spent a fair amount of time with Alex and I really enjoy my time with him. He's a great guy. I don't agree with him on electric vehicles and Tesla, to be clear. But other than that, Model Y doesn't have ventilated seats yet. That's a must-have for me. Maybe the refresh will have them. That's an awfully picky thing to need. I mean, I drive my 2018 Model 3 without ventilated seats and it's fine. Drone delivery is the future of last mile small delivery. I think you're going to see a mix of different kinds of delivery core glass. I think you're going to see drone deliveries for some circumstances and car deliveries for others and robots on scooters and others. And people will experiment with that and we'll see what ends up being the winning choice. And it may, I think it's more likely to be a mix. If Milei succeeds in liberalizing Argentina's economy, the country will become a great place for investing in the lithium supply chain. If he succeeds, it'll be a great place to live. And I think he's likely to succeed. How will bot act when it views elder abuse? I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. I think that's like a down the road problem. Delivery bots are subject to all sorts of risk. Namely, there are more than people who break them or block them. Yeah, but they won't be perfect. There'll be times when they don't get their delivery through. Why he doesn't care about Tesla stock? Why would he care about Tesla stock? The company's mission, let me be clear about this, because this is something that a lot of people miss. Tesla's mission is not maximize the stock price. Tesla's mission is accelerate the transition to sustainable energy, and you could add to that, develop real-world AI. You could add to it, increase the probability that the future is good. I've never heard once heard Elon say that his goal with Tesla is to make the stock price go up. If you thought you were buying into a company where the CEO said his goal was to raise the stock price, then you should be buying other stocks. If you think that's what you're looking for. Elon has other goals for the company. Tesla has other goals. And if they achieve those goals, the stock price will go up because they achieve their goals. So Thailand is implementing new tax laws, but I am a U.S. resident. I'm a U.S. resident, period. I don't anticipate becoming a Thailand resident. When you say robots clean up on that level, how many years down the road are we then? Oh, that's 5 or 10 years away, easily. Have I been to River Kwai and Kanchanaburi, Great POW Museum? No, I don't even know where that is. Is that? I've only been in Bangkok. I haven't been I've been trivially outside of Bangkok a little bit. Elon commented that when the number of adult diapers sold is bigger than the baby diapers, the country's in trouble. That's true. There are delivery robots already, but they're very limited in what they can do. Adult diapers already outsell baby diapers in Las Vegas, I'm sure. My point is that Teslas are lacking features that $30,000 vehicles have, and Tesla needs to fix that quickly. Well, they don't need to fix it quickly. I think Tesla's decided that the priority is get Robotaxi working, get AI working, and are you telling me that the Toyota Camry, $30,000 Toyota Camry has ventilated seats? I don't know. And can they make that happen? They can make that happen. Could Elon offer X as part of his 33% control? He's not going to. I just think that's not relevant. Amazon had a delivery drone program and vanished. In real-world testing, I heard they crashed a lot. Sometimes people threw things at them. Winning company creates a higher stock price eventually. Thank you, Mark Potocznik. Exactly. Tom, if you don't want to buy Tesla stock, don't buy Tesla stock. I buy Tesla stock because of what Mark just said. As Tesla achieves their goals, the stock price will go up. The mission isn't to increase the stock price. The mission is to deliver great things, great products and services, and achieve all these outsized goals. And when you achieve all those outsized goals, then the stock's going to go up. I don't know anything about this mountain area, so there's no plans to go there yet. How long does Thailand let you stay on a tourist visa? As an American, you arrive in Thailand without a visa. You get a 30-day stay. You go to a place, if you're in Bangkok, called IT Loxi. You can extend for another 30 days. You leave the country. I just left the country for I've been here for about 60 days. 30-day extension, another 30 days. Went to Vietnam, was gone 3 days, came back, started the clock again. But my intention is to get a retirement visa because you have to be over 50, and then there's a couple of small hoops to jump through. So I should be able to get a retirement visa. And I'm probably going to start pursuing that soon. I just don't see robots being that agile in less than 10 years, despite latest progress. Well, it's not that the robots are agile, it's that the AI improves. A new comp plan, they've shown that they can hold an egg and not break the egg. A new comp plan should give market cap and operational goals. Do we really care how Elon gets Tesla there? Oh, hi, Kathy. I think that they will include market cap and operational goals. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm very concerned that the new comp plan will be difficult to pull off. Even if you are a U.S. resident, there'll be a new dual reporting requirement for USA residents. So I'm preaching you Cambodia on paper. LJ, just send me an email, wredlick@gmail.com. When adult diapers outsell baby diapers, my humble opinion, Tesla stock is for those who can hang on when it drops in half and buy more. I will say, just LJ, when you're talking about the tax thing, I've heard other people say, yeah, there's a lot of noise about this tax thing, and then Thailand, it won't actually happen. So I'm not too worried about it. My humble opinion, Tesla stock is for those who can hang on when it drops in half and buy more. When most people panic sell, they have huge highs and lows. Yeah, I agree. Total robotaxi deployed by 2040. Any guess? But by 2040, more than 100 million. I think 2035, there's 100 million. But we'll see. Elon said it will thread a needle. Does that include picking up the needle from a slippery surface? Yeah, probably. I don't know. How come Cybertruck isn't boosting Tesla stock as everyone hoped? Well, I never said that Cybertruck was going to boost Tesla stock. Cybertruck as a low volume vehicle is not. I don't think Cybertruck is the future of the company. The value that Cybertruck has, which we will probably be seeing in the next 6 months, as Cybertruck expands and starts appearing all over the country, it's going to raise awareness of the brand. People are going to say, what the hell is that? They're going to want to find out what it is, and they're going to go to Tesla store and say, hey, I guess I can't afford that Cybertruck, but that Model Y looks pretty cool. When the robot can crack the egg and make an egg over easy without breaking the yolk, that will be a good demo. Yeah. I cooked 4 eggs yesterday, and I broke the yolk on 2 of them. So I think your standard is pretty high. I happen to like the broken yolk version, but my girlfriend likes the unbroken version. So fortunately, the first 2 are broken. I took those. And the second 2, I managed to not break the yolk. So she got those. Yeah, it's early for Cybertruck. We're going to see what the numbers are. What are we in February? I don't think it's going to be a significant contributor. Well, April 2nd, we're going to get results for Q1. We'll see how many Cybertrucks they deliver. They'll probably break out Cybertruck separately. They might include Cybertruck with Model S and X, and then it's not broken out separately. But we should have some good hint as to how many Cybertrucks were sold in Q1. And probably at the earnings call in April 20th or something like that. There'll be a question, how's going with Cybertruck? What are projections? Philip Maisie says, any cultural differences in dating in Thailand? I don't know about cultural differences. The difference is that in America, I wasn't getting dates. I'd get like one first date a month. Maybe I probably was getting less than one first date a month. And in Thailand, it's like I would get in like one match a week or less and one first date a month. And in Thailand, if you're a Western man, it's not, at least for me, it's not that hard to get dates. And now I have a girlfriend and she's wonderful. Roller derby with Optimus would be impressive, yes. How much should Delaware judge award the plaintiff lawyer given she did not save Tesla shareholder money in practice? My prediction is, well, no, they did. If you look at it on paper, we got $55 billion in stock back without paying a penny. I mean, I don't know. That's why the stock price should have gone up. Our dilution, we just wiped out $55 billion in dilution. Why didn't the stock price go up? I'm baffled. But I expect her to award in the ballpark of $5 billion in fees. And I think Tesla probably will appeal just to try to stop the $5 billion fee award and to try to stop the precedent. Because that precedent, the people don't appreciate the Delaware precedent may affect Tesla and other companies in other states. Other states look to Delaware to see what Delaware did with issues like this. So, what's the next big thing you were excited about Tesla? Great question, Dave. Next big thing I'm excited about Tesla, I think it's just FSD. I would have said next generation vehicle because if I thought it was coming sooner, but since next generation vehicle is not coming till 2025, I think FSD has a really good chance of good things happening soon. Will I be taking my order of Cybertruck? I'm not sure yet. It depends when it comes and where I am. If I'm living in Thailand, I believe I cannot bring the Cybertruck to Thailand under current rules. I believe the tariff would be like 200%. So if I find a way to live in a different country, like let's say I'm going to be doing a lot of, there's some chance I'll end up living in Malaysia. So maybe Malaysia has better rules for importing Cybertruck. If it doesn't work out with the girlfriend, I was thinking about going to the Philippines. Philippines would probably be a good place for Cybertruck too. It's hard not to get a girlfriend in Thailand. It's not that easy. It's easy to date. Getting a good girlfriend is more challenging from people I've talked to. I don't see why you think Tesla has a production problem. Tesla does have a demand problem. Perhaps Thai respect older guys more for the dating pool. The U.S. focused on youth a lot. I think that Thai women and Filipino women are less concerned about age differences. And there's just a cold, hard reality that Western man brings a lot of value to most Thai women that we don't bring to Western women because Western women have jobs that pay a lot of money in a lot of cases. Cybertruck is proof of concept for new technologies. The fact that it's a billboard on wheels is an added bonus. I think the billboard on wheels is actually the bigger. There's like in theory, I could see Cybertruck going to 1 million units a year. If Cybertruck goes to 1 million units a year at $70,000, that's $70 billion a year revenue. Cybertruck is potentially insane revenue and insane profits, but we'll see. Go to the Red Cross Poisonous Snake Park in Bangkok. That doesn't sound exciting. I don't like snakes. FSD version 12 looks mind-blowing. You can't rely on a couple of videos on YouTube. When do you expect the next compensation package to be signed? So they're probably moving to Texas within, let's say, 3 months. They'll probably negotiate the comp package. They may start negotiating the comp package before they get to Texas. My guess is 6 months to a compensation package going to shareholders. Will Tesla pro forma the comp plan change in their Q1 financials? I don't know. It should affect their... Will they go back and restate some numbers because of the changes? Maybe. Lots of buzz when Elon's brother guessed that robotaxis will take 5 years. I think it hurt the stock that day. Probably. Can you keep delaying your Cybertruck delivery until you're ready? I don't expect my Cybertruck to be ready until says January 2025, so I should know my answer by then. And my thinking is that if I can't bring the Cybertruck to wherever I live, let's say it's Thailand, I might take delivery and drive it for a couple weeks just to have one and make videos and then sell it. But I don't know. Elon brought all employees back to the office in person full time. Apparently it's required for Tesla's progress. So why is he not back in person full time, minimum 40 hours at the Tesla office? Because he's not typical employee, because he runs 4 or 5 other companies. He spends a lot of time at SpaceX. I'm not sure that. And where is in person for Elon? Like, how you think he's limited to one location? That's a really. I'm sorry, Rumi. That's just a dumb comment. Like if you aren't aware of this, Elon has been CEO of Tesla and SpaceX for the entire time that Tesla's been in existence, effectively. So he's had more than one job, and I think he's devoting a significant amount of time to XAI now and a significant amount of time to X now. That's been true for a while. If you don't like it, buy stock in some company with some boring CEO who doesn't do crazy things, and you won't get crazy successes. It's your choice. How's the dating scene in Vietnam? I did not date in Vietnam. Do I miss anything from the States? It's hard to get good bacon. It's hard to get good barbecue. Miss my kids a little. All of Southeast Asia women appreciate Western men. Do the Thais celebrate Lunar New Year? I don't know. They certainly celebrate Chinese New Year. They've been going crazy about Chinese New Year the last few days. How can a self-driving car defend itself? A crowd set it ablaze. I don't know. There's a human car. Human drivers don't defend their cars that well. What are my final thoughts on Elon leaving Tesla? I don't have final thoughts on Elon leaving Tesla. I don't think Elon's leaving Tesla. I think it makes sense for Elon to step down as CEO, remain as like chief product officer, chief, tech, whatever, but go from 60 hours a week at Tesla to 20 hours a week at Tesla and focus a lot more time on XAI. Age gap, dating relationships, normal in most places. Yeah. For even if it's just acting, for heaven's sake, I hope the board of directors is confrontational with Elon negotiating new comp package. I don't think that that's going to be wise, because if you try to pretend something and you'll make a mistake and it'll be obvious. Tesla website says you can order a Cybertruck now with delivery in 2024. Yeah, it says it. No, I haven't gotten the notice that I can pick up my my Cybertruck yet. Warren, Thailand is amazing. Get out of Bangkok. I'm looking at going to southern Thailand. I'm looking at somewhere, Hat Yai, Chumpon, Phuket, Krabi. So I want to go south of the pollution cloud that covers Southeast Asia. Yeah, I think Elon puts 60 hours a week into Tesla anyway, just to be clear. How big will energy be in 5 years? That's a good question. I think energy right now is in the ballpark. This year will be in the ballpark of 40 gigawatt hours of energy storage. So in 5 years, 5 years would be 20, let's say the end of 2020, let's say the calendar year 2028, the fiscal year 2028, a few hundred gigawatt hours. How old is the girlfriend? The girlfriend is just turned 36. Chinese New Year is the same as Lunar New Year. Okay. And she's very nice. Rumi says, that's my point, Warren. He's not a full-time CEO of Tesla anymore. Tesla board and shareholders should treat him. Rumi, do you think Tesla stock would go up or down if Elon stepped down as CEO? Or if the board fired him as CEO? Do you think the stock would go up, or do you think the stock would go down? And how much do you... Please, your next comment, please let us all know with your brilliance, what would be likely to happen to Tesla stock if Elon stepped down as CEO or if the board fired him as CEO? Please, please share your genius wisdom with us. You seem to know so much about Tesla, the company, and so much about Tesla stock. Please share with us. And please share with us who's the next CEO of Tesla. Who would you put in charge of Tesla? Who's going to do a better job managing Tesla than Elon Musk? I have my choice. Anybody who follows me knows who my choice is. Not that he's going to be better, but that he'll do a fine job. Just he's probably delayed. He's probably got a 30-second delay here. The potential market cap of Tesla hurts my brain. How can it be possible? What are my thoughts on the temporary price reductions in the US and the Model Y? Tesla always has adjusted the price of the cars based on market demand. Other car companies do it, but it's not as obvious because they sell through dealerships and they do it through incentives rather than direct and obvious price changes. Tesla sells it on their website. Philip Mazie, how many Teslas do you see in Thailand? I see some. They only started selling fairly recently. I've been seeing more. I actually saw a Model Y today, and then within minutes I saw a BYD sedan. Queen on Street in Phuket puts on a great music show. I don't know if I'm going to make it to Phuket. When is the Model Y refresh coming out? I don't know. It was just reported that there's no updated Model Y coming this year. So what are we calling it? Project Lowland? Product Juniper Land? What's the name? Where's Rumi? What happened, Rumi? Rumi, what's going to happen to the stock when Elon steps down as CEO? Who's the next CEO? Come on, Rumi. You're so wise. You're so smart. You know you have all the answers. Where are your answers? What happened to Rumi? You don't judge a CEO by the hours spent behind a desk, Jim Whitehead says, but by results for shareholders and products. As a Vietnamese American, I think you would easily get girlfriends anywhere in Southeast Asia. Not Singapore. I don't think it's as easy in Singapore. I don't know if Hong Kong counts as Southeast Asia, but not Hong Kong or Taiwan. I think, Laos, Cambodia, Myanmar, Bangkok, Thailand, Malaysia. Malaysia's not that easy, I don't think. I don't think Indonesia's that easy. Heavy traffic in Thailand. I live near the Bangkok transit system. If you're anywhere near a Bangkok transit system station, you don't worry about traffic. Ask Alex when he's going to buy his new Tesla. I don't think he's buying a Tesla. Project Why Not? Wait, where's Rumi? Rumi, what happened? Rumi was telling us how the board needs to get tough with Elon. Well, what happens when Elon says go F yourself and he decides to go work at his other companies and he's no longer CEO? Who's the replacement? What happened, Rumi? Where's Rumi? Rumi was in the chat telling us all how Elon needs to put more time into Tesla and the board needs to get tough with him. He's not going to put more time in Tesla. Tell me what that's going to do to the stock when Elon leaves. Tell me. I say the stock falls 50% in like a day. Any plans to interview Larry Goldberg or Stern Baster? I think I interviewed Larry Goldberg in the past. And I think I thought I just interviewed CERN. Didn't I just interview CERN? I think I did an interview with CERN like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Hong Kong is Northeast Asia? Whatever, it's East Asia. I'm filing a missing person. What the hell happened to Rumi? So I just want to say this very clearly, okay? The board does not want to lose Elon as CEO. Okay, they don't want to lose Elon as CEO and they don't want to lose Elon from the company in particular. Let's see. Rumi says Tesla will drop in the short term, but I think Tesla has a good product in the pipeline to be fine in the long run. My portfolio is 60% Tesla. I wouldn't mind board having more control over something actions. I can't, unfortunately, I'm going to do a nonsense comment so I can read this. Over his actions. The board isn't going to have more control over his actions. And that's not the question. The question isn't whether the board is going to have more control over his actions. The question is, if the board tries to have more control over Elon's actions, and he says, go F yourself, and he decides to go work on his other companies, you think the stock will drop in the short term, but I think Tesla has a good product in the pipeline to be fine in the long. If Tesla has good products in the pipeline to be fine in the long run, then you don't need to get rid of Elon. Because the reason they have good products in the pipeline is because of Elon. You're not making any sense. You're not, and you didn't tell me who's the next CEO. Who are you going to put in place of Elon? Is the next CEO going to make Wall Street feel more comfortable with what Tesla does? Is the next CEO going to mean that the media is not going to be like when Elon's off posting on X, the media is going to stop blaming Tesla for it? Or at the top of your deadlift, make sure to put your shoulders back. I don't normally deadlift. I'm not sure I should deadlift. I'm 57 years old. I've seen I shouldn't deadlift. I think that Tesla can run without Elon now. I do think that's true. I think Tesla's great. But don't tell me the stock's not going to fall. The stock's going to fall 50, like Jim said. Jim and I agree. Stock's going to fall 50% or more in the first day. Sith Lord says, I don't understand. You should be getting your Cybertruck any day now. 2025. I think they're still doing Foundation series. I haven't heard anything about it. 49ers, please. Lost Gerber for CEO. Mary Barr will be the next Tesla CEO. She did lead. She led and it matters. That's right, Victor. Well, Rumi says he's 60% in Tesla stock. I don't understand why you're in Tesla stock if you have this crazy CEO doesn't show up to work. Why aren't you investing in NVIDIA instead? That guy's at work all the time. I'd swear to you I had Cern Basher on the channel. I'd swear Cern's already been on. Like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. More buying opportunities. Reading Ben Franklin's autobiography, he was Elon of the time. Interesting. Only 60. Yeah, I'm like 98% Tesla. How do you only have 60% Tesla? Oh, that's bearish. She bled and it spatters. I gotta write that down. She bled and it spatters. I'm stealing that. Stealing that. Joe Rogan is CEO. Mr. Beast is CEO. Peter Rawlinson is the new CEO. Who will replace Biden in the convention? I don't look 57. I thought 50. Thank you. It's the lighting. Go to Onang Beach. Best roadie ever from food. Where's Onang Beach? Is that in Thailand? Or is that Vietnam? What are we talking about? Dean Phillips for president. I just wish Elon would skip the quarterly meetings like he said he would. He does enough interviews already for updates. I wish Elon would stop interrupting Drew during the earnings calls. Let Drew finish his response and then chip in. 49ers or Chiefs, Taylor Swift wins. I honestly don't watch any NFL football anymore. I don't. I watch NBA basketball. That's all I watch. I basically watch NBA highlights on YouTube. Where are we? We're an hour and 20 minutes in. I had Larry Goldberg on. Was it only 3 or 4 weeks ago? I know I've had Larry on at least once. Jim Whitehead, I started 80% Tesla, now 98% because Arcimoto lost me thousands. I only lost like maybe a couple $100 on Arcimoto. I bought some, but not that much. I don't think it's about Romeyer caring about playing in a band. I think it's a combination of things, but fundamentally they just didn't execute. NFL players are overplayed. Yeah, well, no, all the sports leagues went woke. I actually stopped watching all sports for a while when they all started wearing the Black Lives Matter stuff, and I went off on that. I don't watch sports to be given social justice warrior messages. There would be a long sustained loss that suppresses the stock. Yeah, if Elon left, it wouldn't be just like it would fall 50% in a day and it would bounce back 3 weeks later. The stock would be down for months, probably more than a year. Optimus is the CEO. There we go. Optimus for CEO. I love it. All right, we're gonna write that one down too. Stealing it. Optimus for CEO. Stealing. You guys are giving me great material here. They only actually play for like 6 minutes. That's probably true. Onang Beach is in Thailand. I was at Da Nang. Marcus, I was in Da Nang and Hoi An. And Hoi An, I really liked Hoi An, by the way. Hoi An is 20 kilometers south of Da Nang, Vietnam, and it's like a old town, this canals or a canal, and nice spot. I could actually see I didn't really like Vietnam because of traffic, because of I like places with good sidewalks, and Vietnam, the Vietnamese word for sidewalk is actually side block, or go fuck yourself or something like that. It's definitely not. They don't seem to think sidewalks are for walking. Globalismo says, Warren, you were in the same area. I stayed in Bangkok. I stayed at a hotel near Ekamai Station. I stayed at Tong Lo for a week, and I stayed at Asok for a week, and I stayed at Onut for a week. I'm currently near Siam. Say it that way. I'm near Siam. New t-shirts coming. I do need to work on t-shirts. Could any of these be a t-shirt? I don't know if any of these are a t-shirt. Vertically integrate your love life could be a t-shirt. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. Grok should answer. Grok for CEO. Grok for CEO. Could stock price dip after Q1 result in April? Stock price almost always dips after an earnings call. Yeah, I would, if you have a chance to travel, let's just say this real quick pitch. If you have the chance to, I would take at least a week, ideally 2 weeks, and travel to Southeast Asia. As an American, most of these, Vietnam, I think you need to, you want to check what airport you're flying into. Vietnam, like Da Nang, you can fly into without a visa in advance. You can apply for a visa in advance. Check each country where you're going to go. See if you need to get a visa in advance and get it. India, you want to get a visa in advance, I think. But I would visit Thailand for sure. I would visit Kuala Lumpur. I haven't been to Kuala Lumpur yet, but I would visit Kuala Lumpur. I would go to Da Nang, Vietnam, maybe other cities in Vietnam. I don't know. Bali in Indonesia. I'm probably going to Bali. I don't know about Bana Hill. No, we didn't go. I think I did. Somebody did ask me about Bana Hill, and no, we didn't go there. We went to the temple. If you're on Da Nang Beach, there's a peninsula that juts out to the north. If you go north, there's a peninsula that juts out to the right, and there's a Lady Buddha, huge Lady Buddha. We went to that temple. We went a little further out. We climbed down a treacherous trail to the beach, and climbed back up. Thank you, R2. Optimus be CEO, but yeah, Optimus will be CEO, but Elon will control it through Neuralink. All right, there we go. If FSD can navigate Hanoi, then we've nailed it. Yeah. So what I saw driving in Vietnam, just to be clear, I never felt unsafe in a car. Like in India, I felt unsafe in a car. In Bangkok, I feel safe, period. In Vietnam, it's just like the motorcycles and the scooters are just like, they seem insane. And I like always worried that my driver was going to hit one of them. Grok could be a better politician than most of the US. He would at least know what policies are popular. He wouldn't fall down every other day. Yeah, I see lots of BYD EVs, lots of other EVs all over Thailand. The EVs are growing in Thailand, and Tesla just got going, and I expect Tesla to do well. But Teslas are expensive for Thailand. The average, young person in Thailand might make $500 a month, right? And a Tesla Model 3 is like $47,000 or $45,000 here. So that's just out of reach for a large share of the population. So there really needs to be an effort. The next gen vehicle will make it more affordable for people, and hopefully there'll be a vehicle after that. Cambodia is the easiest to enter and stay at a year at a time. All right, I'll take a look at Cambodia. I don't know. I'm just like I have a girlfriend. We're happy. Like, I don't know why I need to go to Cambodia. So at the 2020, Arcimoto had some good ideas, and they didn't shoot the engineers and concentrate on building and marketing one great product. Exactly, PYG KLB. They had a potentially great product in the FUV, and they should have focused on building and marketing just one version of it. Just fucking build one of them and build a lot of them. If they built 10,000 of the FUV and sold them for, get it down to $12,000, sell 50,000 of them, you'll be fine. For how long have you been a Tesla investor? February 2016 is the first time I bought Tesla stock. I started buying in February, and I haven't stopped buying yet. I've pauses where I haven't bought in a while, but if you have a heart condition, don't take a bus in Vietnam. Yeah, I would say probably stay out of the roads in India too. 2030 Optimus win NFL Player of the Year. That's right. Optimus will be in the NFL. Yeah. Will Optimus be considered? If Optimus says I identify as a woman, will Optimus be able to play in the women's leagues? Driving in Vietnam, you have to have a 6. I'm not driving. I don't even drive in Thailand. I don't like the idea of a third party monitoring my driving habits. Another way Big Brother's watching, they could use my car data against me. The car data is being collected anyway. Tesla cars are collecting the data anyway. What do you mean used against you? If you didn't do anything wrong, the car data will help you. If near Onang and Raleigh Beach, find the Princess Cave for the impressive wooden phallus offerings. I am convinced you will see the practicality and joy of living almost full-time in Southeast Asia. My bad. I already see the practicality and joy of living in Southeast Asia. I mean, the cost of living here, just so people don't know this, the cost of living here in Southeast Asia is just dramatically lower than the cost of living in America. In America, I was paying $2,000 a month effectively for a not particularly great townhome, 2 bedroom effectively, really a bedroom and a half townhome. It's near a beach, but it was just not a great location for a lot of reasons. And I was paying $2,000 a month. Here in Thailand, here in Bangkok, $500 a month. $300 a month, I'd have a pretty good condo. Luxury condo, swimming pool, and gym. $700 a month, 37th floor, spectacular views, rooftop swimming pool, great location. That's and then I had lunch today for, what was lunch today? Lunch today was $2.67. Yesterday lunch was $1.25. Dinner tonight was expensive. I bought dinner for 2. It was like $30 for like a really nice dinner for 2. Could you meet Bjorn Nyland when he's in Thailand? I'd be happy to meet him. Let me know when he's here, or tell him to reach out to me. I don't know him. How much is your rent? So I don't have a regular place yet, so I've been staying in different Airbnbs. So I paid as little as $200 a week for an Airbnb. I'm currently, the place I'm in now, which is really nice, I'm paying $1,400 for a month, but that's Airbnb 1 month. So a place like this would probably cost me significantly less than $1,000 a month, maybe even $600 a month. And this is like one of the best locations. I've been all over Thailand, all over Bangkok. This is one of the best, near Siam. This is one of the best locations I've been in. And this is one of the nicest condos I've been in. It's just like a full serious 1-bedroom with more space and a, updated look. And what pronoun? Yeah, what's Optimus's pronouns? That's a good question. All right, what are Optimus's pronouns? What is Grok's pronouns too? You guys are giving me good stuff. No, there's no wokeism here. How can you cheat on your wife or girlfriend with all that software now in the cars? What paid package would Delaware courts allow for Optimus? Yep. Have I looked at the ARK Invest 2024 Big Idea slide deck yet? No, I have not. I did get the email and I didn't look at it yet. That should be on my list of things to look at. Food is 1/2 to 1/10 of U.S. prices. It depends on what you're buying. So if you want to go out to eat, like, it's really striking. Like, Japanese food is cheaper in Japan and better. Beef seems to be more expensive. Chicken is significantly less expensive. So, like, I went to Taco Bell and they charged like extra for beef in the taco. If you had chicken in the taco, it was less. Rent is a quarter. You can rent a 1-bedroom condo in a nice building for $300 a month here. A small 1-bedroom condo, just to be clear, borderline studio condo, for $300 a month. Here's my story. You could live on $1,000 a month in Thailand. Here's how. You spend $300 a month on rent. You got a nice condo, not a great location, but not a bad location, and you're near a transit stop, so you don't have to have a car. $10 a day on food, that's $300 a month. I could easily live on $6 a day, even less than $6 a day food, but $10 a day, okay? So now you got $600 a month. You got $400 left, you spend that on hookers. You're done. Okay. And more realistically, I expect to spend in the ballpark of $200 a month, $2,000 a month living here. LJ, I'm going to hire a 25-year-old private yoga instructor for one-on-one training. Massages come later in the day. Yeah, please let Bjorn know I'm here and happy to meet up with him. How many Tesla shares do you have? Don't answer, it's okay. I have a lot. No, I make breakfast at home and I go out for lunch. Think about it, like, it's almost like it's so cheap to go out to eat. Why would I want to do dishes? I literally walk, like, when I say across the street, I mean, it's basically on the sidewalk on the other side of the street. There's a street vendor who makes great lunches and dinners for $1.25, maybe $1.50. This is insane. Yeah, it's pronouncer 10. There we go. I like it. This is great stuff. I just asked Grok. It said the pronouns of Optimus are he, him, or as he likes to call them, bolt nuts. What about healthcare? I have not really taken advantage of healthcare that much here. My understanding is that the hospitals in Thailand are very good and very inexpensive. But I haven't. I had some blood work done. I didn't think to compare the pricing. Optimus is in IT. There we go. Yeah, is Optimus a cross-dresser? That's a good one. Are there American food joints in places you've been? I actually had lunch at Taco Bell yesterday. Was it Taco Bell? No, dinner at Taco Bell yesterday. There's McDonald's everywhere. There's Starbucks everywhere. There's Taco Bell in a lot of places. There's Burger King in a lot of places. There's Subway in a lot of places. Shake Shack at M Sphere. There's a Shake Shack. There's a lot of Japanese food restaurant chains. So yeah, I only go out with when I'm with a woman because they get angry if they cannot tell their friends where I took them. They don't just tell them you Netflix and chilled. I eat pork and save huge. Grind my own burger, less than $2 a pound. Yeah, I mean, is tipping a thing in Thailand? Generally, no. Generally, there's no tipping in Thailand. Watch out for the girly men. They're convincing. I have not had an issue with. I have not had an issue with lady boys yet. They're called lady boys. Medical care is good and much cheaper. Yeah, there's this big Shake Shack in. There's an IKEA in the same mall, M Sphere. IKEA has the Swedish meatballs, right? I heard the Swedish meatballs at the IKEA aren't that good, but I'm not sure. How much is the dish pad thai there? It's one of my favorites. It's $12. You can definitely get pad thai here for $2. But there's gonna be little tiny shrimps in there that are like crunchy. So you gotta be careful there. Is my stress level lower in my stress level was lower in the US. I have an easy life. I would say generally is my stress level lower. I think it's about the same. But I've had a low stress life for a while. Globalism Blacksman says my meals cost between 200 and 300 baht, a whole platter of fish. Blackman, if you want to email me, wredlick@gmail.com or DM me on X, WR4NYGov, we can meet up for lunch or dinner or something. There's these food courts in these malls, like there's a mall called Terminal 21. You go to the 5th floor, you have to buy a payment card, but you can get dinner for basically $1.25 in a food court, you know. I don't particularly like that food court, but I've been in other food courts where there's good deals. Okay, I see Kentucky Fried Chicken everywhere too. Thoughts on Lee from Tesla Economist? Oh my God! So, for those who don't know, there's a YouTube channel called Tesla Economist, and he has an account on X that he posts a lot. And for some reason, he hasn't blocked me yet. And he's like Tesla emotionalist now. I don't know. He's just nuts. He apparently like. My thoughts on Tesla Economist is he was basically a Stephen Mark Ryan copycat. I think he copied Stephen's analysis and my analysis and copied Stephen's style and made a bunch of videos and got a bunch of followers for basically saying the same stuff we were saying, but he didn't understand. Stephen and I understand the stuff that we're saying. Tesla Economist just repeated what we said and then didn't understand what we said, which is we did not say fucking buy options, right? And he went out and bought a bunch of options and then screwed up and lost a ton of money because he was playing short-term games when Stephen and I do not talk about playing short-term games. At least as far as I know, Stephen does not advocate playing options games. Grok's pronoun is all binary. Is Grok binary? That's good. Your stress level will disappear if you have a Thai massage daily, so will any joint pain. It's really unusual for a lawyer to have low stress. Most trial lawyers seem to be high stress. So I retired as a lawyer in 2021, and I didn't have high volume anyway. So, and I wasn't doing a lot of trial work. But lawyering work itself is stressful because it's conflict. Victor Block says, I had a heart attack 8 years ago. First thing I did was dump my car collection on the girlfriend. Interesting. Okay. Croc is a bit and biter. The low-stress lawyers I know were professors or estate lawyers. It's a great gig if you can get it pushing paper at $500 an hour. I think the estate planning lawyers actually make money later. They sell you the will cheap, and then they make the money when you die. processing the will, and they have this cabinet full of wills and estate papers, and then when somebody dies, then they administer the estate, and that's where they make the money. Options can also be an insurance if we're talking about the stock falling 50%. Well, the stock falling 50% doesn't matter unless you sell. If you hold through the ups and downs, it doesn't matter. Oh, Blackman's back in Europe. Okay, so listen, I've been going for an hour and 40 minutes. I want to thank everybody for watching. I think we've covered the key points and more, and I really enjoyed the conversation with everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. I think this is a good time to wrap up. So again, I want to thank everybody so much. Please, and thanks in particular to the moderators, Mark Potocnik and Jim Whitehead. I didn't notice that Mark Plott was here tonight, but thank you to the moderators. Thank you everybody for watching. Please check out the t-shirts at elonbits.com. Please support me as a YouTube channel member on the Locals platform, particularly on X as a subscriber on the X platform, WR4NY.gov, and then on Patreon as well. Thanks everybody so much. Is NVIDIA the new Tesla? No, Tesla is the next Tesla. Bye everybody.